Hello everybody and welcome back. Today is a very exciting day because I get to talk to you guys about a new competitive readathon happening throughout the entire month of September, and that is Battleathon. This readathon is going to be for anybody and everybody. You can read any genre that you want. It is fantasy leading, but you absolutely do not have to read fantasy books. Battleathon is going to be a team-based readathon, like I said, that happens throughout the entire month, and it is going to be bracket style where all of your points are based off of your star rating. This readathon is featuring dragons, and we are going to be riding into battle to defend our kingdom. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of what the readathon entails, you guys need to know a little bit about the kingdom that you are going to be fighting to lead. So everyone, welcome to Elrifra. Elrifra has been at peace for thousands of years, but once it was a world in complete turmoil, and dragons and dragon riders were used to enforce the laws and ride into battle. But for the last millennia or so, dragons have just lived the life of luxury, and dragon riders are really a thing of the past. But unfortunately, enemies are closing in, and Elrifra is on the cusp of war once more. Dragons and dragon riders are going to be needed again. Everyone wants to be one, but only a few will successfully bond with a dragon. So it's time for you to step up and become a dragon rider. But before we can go into battle, we do need to decide which dragons will be the leaders. Will it be black, red, green, or blue that are going to lead us into battle? So I am so excited for you guys to meet the dragons and your squad leaders. We will have merch for this readathon, and I will talk to you guys about that here in just a little bit. This readathon will have a Discord, so down in the description box you will find a link to the Discord channel where we will be talking about questions, we'll be talking about just the general spots of the readathon, a place to hang out. Each individual team will have their own chat that they can talk within, discuss strategy, and all of this will be linked down below, but you will also have a quick reference spot for the sign-up form, for the submission forms, for any of the graphics, and a quick place to ask questions and learn more about the readathon as a whole. But before we get into all of that, I just kind of wanted to give you an idea on the basic structure of the readathon. So this readathon will be happening the entire month of September, but each week is going to kind of have its own mini goal and mini setup that you will be doing. So during the first week, that will be the week that you are going to bond with your dragon. The second week is going to be spent on standings. The third week is going to be the elimination round, and the fourth week is going to be the finale, where we find out which class of dragons are going to be leading us into battle. But before we can do any of that, you have to bond with your dragon. Each dragon is going to choose its rider, and they are looking for the most cunning, the most passionate, the strongest, and the most intelligent to bond with. But which dragon is going to choose you? I will go into kind of the different qualities of the dragons and who your squad leaders are going to be, and you are more than welcome to have your dragons choose you that way, but there will also be a quiz that I'm going to link down in the description box which will match you with a dragon and tell you what percentages you are most likely to bond with. This is not a requirement, it is something that is just for fun. If you get blue and you want to go with green, that's totally fine, but I would love to see everybody's result, so please feel free to tag me in screenshots of those because I think it is going to be a ton of fun to see. For each dragon, you will have a bonus prompt that you are able to do. This is going to get you 10 extra points. You can do this bonus prompt as many times as you want, but you can only do the bonus prompt for the team that you choose. So without further ado, let's just jump into the descriptions of the dragons and get to know your squad leaders. First, let's start with the black dragons. The black dragon squad leaders are going to be Becca from Becca and the Books and Kitty from Spicy Cats. These dragons are the most feared. They are not the most feared because they are the largest of the dragons, but their fire burns icy hot. They are ruthless in their pursuits, and they will not give up once they set their mind to something. They're going to also look for dragon riders who are of a similar mindset and won't give up once they are set to a task. Their riders are going to be loyal to a fault, and these are often going to be the dragons that are gone second into battle because they're just waiting to pick off the people that are brave enough to face them. The black dragon's bonus prompt is going to be to read a previous 5-star author. Next up, we have the blue dragons, and the blue dragon squad leaders are going to be Jade from J.D. Ray Reads and Kaylee from Kaylee's Books. The blue dragons are the smallest of the dragons, but that makes them quick and stealthy. They should still be feared. These dragons are used as scouts, and they are often sent out ahead of time to get kind of a lay of the land and report back on what they find. Therefore, they're looking for riders who are discerning, riders who are not afraid to make the tough choices. And often before they go into battle, they want to know all of their information before making a decision. Their bonus prompt is going to be to read a new to you author. Next up, we have the green dragons, and these are going to be led from Steph Loves and Rye from Rye's Reading Corner. The green dragons are some of the most rare dragons. They are extremely intelligent and are often found kind of on the back lines, keeping everybody in line. These dragons are looking for riders who are smart, tenacious, and cunning. Their riders are responsible for strategy planning, and they are looking for riders who are not afraid to make the tough decisions. Their bonus prompt is going to be to read a library book, and yes, Libby counts. And last but not least, we have the most ruthless of the dragons. And of course, this is going to be headed up by your very own Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy and Lexi from Books with Lexi. These dragons have fire that is blazing hot. They are ruthless, they are passionate, and they are going to charge headfirst into battle. They may have a little bit of an unpredictable personality, but when they bond with a rider, they are so loyal they will never give up on them. They're going to look for riders who are brave and willing to charge into anything that comes their way. They want a rider who is passionate about the cause and is not afraid to step up and do what they need to do for the Empire. The Red Dragon bonus prompt is going to be to read a backlist book, and this is a book that is 2 or more years old. So now that you know what dragon you are going to bond with, don't forget to go down into the description box and click on the sign up form and let me know what team you're going to be on and why you chose that dragon. Okay, so now let's talk about the nitty-gritty structure of the readathon. This readathon is going to be points based off of your star rating. So you are going to get 100 points for every star that you give a book, 100 points for a 1-star, 200 points for a 2-star, 300 points for a 3-star, 400 for a 4-star, and 500 points for a 5-star. Unfortunately, half stars are not going to be allowed for this readathon. You will have to pick a whole star. The rule of thumb that I'm leaning toward for this one is just that if you would give it a 4-star on Goodreads, don't just round it up for the sake of this readathon. Kind of stick to your normal rating structure. If it's a 3.5-star and it feels like a 3-star, give it a 3-star. But if it's a really high 3-star that you're kind of waffling between a 4 and you go up with a 4, totally fine as well. The general rule is just don't do something that you wouldn't be upset that someone else is doing. And I know you're probably curious about DNFs. DNFs will be allowed, but I ask that you only count something as a DNF if you have read at least 20% or 100 pages, whichever one comes first, and DNFs will only be getting 50 points. So now let's talk about the individual weeks. Like I said, this is going to be a month-long readathon. There will be something happening throughout the entire month, but they are sectioned off into weeks. So first, let's talk about week 1. Week 1 is going to run through the 1st of September through the 8th of September, and this is going to be the week where you bond with your dragon. During this week, you will be responsible for reading the one prompt associated with the color of your team. Now, I know that some people read a little bit slower, or maybe you're starting a little bit late, and that is perfectly fine, but you do have to read this prompt in order to continue on in the readathon. So even if it takes you until week 2 to read it, that's fine, but you have to complete that prompt before you're able to move forward within the readathon. If you are somebody that likes to read more books, then there will be some level up prompts that you are able to do both in week 1 and you can do throughout the entire readathon. The caveat is that you can only do these level up prompts one time, and they will give you 10 extra bonus points. Okay, so let's start off with the Black Dragons. The Black Dragons are loyal to a fault. So their prompt is going to be to read a book with a prominent relationship. And like I said, you can read any genre for this, so it can be a familial relationship, it can be a romantic relationship, it can be just a really solid friendship, but there does have to be a very prominent relationship at the core of the story. For the blue dragons, their key is stealth. They are the stealthiest and the quickest of dragons. So for this, you will need to read a book with a mystery at its center. Again, it does not have to be a mystery thriller. It can be anything, but the mystery does have to be a pretty big part of the story. The green dragons are the intelligence masters, and so for this, you will need to read a book with either a school setting or where learning is a very large part of the story. And for the red dragons, they are ready to charge into battle, so read a book with a battle or where the conflict is a very prominent part of the story. Now for the level up prompts, again, you can only do these once, but you can do them at any point throughout the readathon. If you want to spark your dragon and to make it breathe fire, then you will need to read a book with a red cover. If you want to saddle up and have a saddle for your dragon, then you will need to read a book with movement in the title. For example, Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. Into is a movement. You can move into another room or into something. Or for example, something like Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. You can bend something. You can stretch this prompt a little bit, but just think any kind of movement. And then if you want to strengthen the bond with your dragon, you will need to continue a series. First in a series does not count for this prompt. It will need to be a sequel or any kind of continuation on a series. Okay, so that is week 1, but in the first week, the star rating is not really going to count. This is more just setting up your dragon and bonding with your dragon. Okay, let's move into week 2. Week 2 is going to run from the 9th of September through the 15th of September. And week 2 is where we're going to determine the standings and where your star rating is going to start to come into play. So if you've ever seen a bracket, you know that it is usually labeled from first place down to, in our case, 4th place. And oftentimes you will see first place is going against 4th and second is going against 3rd. This is to give the first place team an advantage. They will get to go the easiest route to move on to the next round, whereas 2nd and 3rd place are going to have a little bit of a harder time getting into that next section. That's what this week is going to be. We will be taking the points from the first week combined with your star rating points from week 2 to decide where your team is going to end up in that very first bracket. And I will leave a picture of that for you guys here, but week 2 is purely standings to decide where you're going to be in that first bracket. And then we're moving on to week 3, which is going to be the elimination round. Week 3 is going to run from the 16th of September to the 22nd of September. And that is going to decide who is moving on into the next and final round. So for example, if say the first place team beats out the 4th place team, then they would be moving on to that first part of the next bracket. And then the 2nd and 3rd place, say 3rd place won, they would be moving forward and they would be battling against the first place team. Now, I know that you're probably wondering, okay, well, what if we don't win? What if we're not the semifinalist and we can't move forward into the next round? Do we just fall out of the readathon? No, there will be a separate bracket that those two teams will fall into. They will just be competing for overall 3rd and 4th place instead of overall 1st and 2nd place. And that's what week 3 is going to be. Now, the tricky thing about week 3 is you are going to start from 0. So think about this like any game. You get completely wiped clean and it's a brand new game. So everyone will start at 0 for week 3, and the movement from the semifinals into the finals is going to be based only on your week 3 scores. Then when we move into week 4, this is the finals round. This is the completion to decide who is going to lead us into battle, who's going to get 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. And week 4, you will have 1 extra day. It is going to run from the 23rd to the 30th. The slate will be wiped clean and everyone will be starting on even footing once again at 0. So the points are not cumulative, but you definitely are moving up in place. Whoever won in the elimination round now moving forward and battling out for the finals and the winner of the readathon. Hopefully that makes sense. I did try to leave a graphic for you guys to help explain it just a little bit better, but if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave those down in the comments, or again, the Discord is going to be a really good place for you to ask those questions because I have a lot of great mods in there and they're going to be really quick at answering things even if like I'm at work and unable to get to my phone. So Discord is going to be a great place, but you can also tweet me or like I said, leave it down in the comments of this video. All right, so now you have signed up for your team, you have joined the Discord, you're ready to get started. What next? There is going to be a lot of fun merch for this readathon, and I did want to share that with you guys really quickly. Of course, none of the merch is required by any means. This is just extra stuff if you guys decide that you do want to buy anything. There will be links to my Etsy shop down in the description box once this video goes live. This will be open internationally, and these will be stamped envelopes, so it's not going to have tracking, but that's just the fastest and cheapest way that I can get these bookmarks to you guys without you having to pay a lot of money for shipping for something that's relatively lightweight. But this is international and again, completely optional. However, the first thing that I wanted to show you guys is the Readathon shirts. So these shirts and sweatshirts are going to be on Bonfire, and I just absolutely love these. I think that the quality is so good and it really ended up popping well on the chest of the shirt. For the entire month of August, though, these are going to be Patreon exclusive. I might open them up to the public in the month of September. I did want to show them to you guys, but obviously no pressure to join the Patreon. It's just I wanted them to have something a little bit extra, and Bonfire was just a really easy way to do that. So Readathon shirts and sweatshirts during the month of August will be Patreon exclusives, and then potentially opened up in the month of September for the general public. They will take about 3 weeks to get to you, so just kind of keep that in mind. And then we have a couple of really fun things that will be on Etsy. The first of which is a Readathon sticker. And this is a holographic sticker that has the logo on it for the Readathon. This sticker will be a total of $2 plus shipping. And obviously you can combine shipping if you decide to get any bookmarks, but I just love the way that it turned out and how shiny it is with like everyone's color on it. And then we have the bookmarks. So these bookmarks were designed by your very own Cassidy, and I absolutely adore how these turned out. These are going to be $10 individually or $32 if you buy a set, so you will be getting $2 off of each bookmark. I do have about 60 individual bookmarks and 30 sets that will be going live. I do expect these to sell out relatively quickly, so just kind of be aware that I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a reprint of these. Once they're gone, they could potentially be gone. I'm not saying no to a reprint, but I don't know for sure if that's going to be the case. But I did want to show you guys these up close. We have the Blue Team's bookmark with a beautiful shine to it. We have, I think, my personal favorite in person, the Red Team's bookmark. And then we have green with a beautiful, beautiful shine. These are complete foil, by the way, with a blank back. And then we have the Black Team's bookmark. The difference in the Black Team is that this is actually a chrome foil rather than the super, super shiny foil. But I absolutely love the way that these turned out. And then they have a white side on the other side. So there you have it, all four Team's bookmarks. I think that they turned out incredibly, and like the shine in person is blinding. All right guys, so last but not least, let's go over just a little bit of frequently asked questions, and then if you guys, like I said, have any further questions, please just let me know and I will try to get to them as quickly as possible. So we have touched over some of these, but I do want to touch on them again. Do half stars count? No, they don't. Round up or down as you normally would, but you will not be able to do half stars. Do you have to do the level up prompts? No, you do not. You can choose to do them or not do them. They are purely bonus. They will get you 10 extra bonus points, but they are by no means required. You can do them at any point throughout the month. It does not have to be just in the first week, and you can only do them one time. Can you do the bonus prompts more than once? Yes, you can do the bonus prompts more than once. They can be for every book if it fits every book, but you can only do your team's bonus prompt. You do not have to do these. Again, they are bonus and they will get you 10 additional points to whatever your star rating score is. Do I have to read my dragon prompt? Yes, you have to read the dragon prompt before you can submit anything for a star rating or anything for a bonus or level up prompt. That has to be checked first. Can I join late? Absolutely you can. You can join at any point throughout the month. You will have to do the bond with your dragon prompt before you are able to move on. What do I do if I start a book in week 2, but I'm a slow reader and I'm not able to complete it by the end of the first week or the end of the second week or the first week? Totally okay. You will just submit it in whatever week you finish it. So if you start a book in week 1 and you don't finish it until week 3, you just missed out on points for week 2 and you'll submit it in week 3. So you're still contributing to your team. It's just which week are you contributing to? Where can I find the submission forms, and is it the same submission form each week? You can find the submission forms once the readathon starts down in the description of this video. Once again, they will be linked in Discord and I will tweet them out to everybody. It is not going to be the same submission form, so because each week is its own standalone week, there will be a new submission form for each week. So be sure you keep an eye out for that, because once that week is over, that submission form will close and you will not have access to it any longer. Okay guys, so I think that that is everything for this readathon. I am so excited for the month of September. I hope that you guys are as well. I really hope that you will consider participating because I think that we are going to have a blast. I do expect to have a lot of sprints. We have got 8 co-hosts plus myself. I'm not going to be on a team, obviously. I'm going to be like a golden dragon maybe, and I will be doing weekly vlogs each week. I will probably let my Patreons decide randomly which team is going to get my points for each book, and that way it's just kind of the most spread out amongst all of the teams. But yeah, let me know what you got on the quiz if you decide to take it. Let me know what team you're going to be choosing and why, and I cannot wait to ride into battle with you guys in September. As always, please give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Links to Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads are all in the description box down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!